Sweet.
But, yeah, you ready to rock?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, this is quite the treat we have on SANDCAST. We got my good friend, fellow lefty, Miles Partain.
Yeah.
You have been lefty shake. Dude, you've been, I would say you, Kent Steffes, and Carrie Walsh-Jennings are the three most requested guests we've ever had on the show.
Yeah.
We got Kent last year. Yeah. We're getting you now. Carrie, we're still trying to get you on.
Yeah.
But you're in elite company, my friend.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, listeners. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, how you're full-time on the beach.
Yeah, full-time beach now.
Yeah. How's it been?
Nice.
I mean, you've grown up really fast. I feel like you and Marcus, it feels like yesterday that you guys made your first main draw. Mm-hmm. You were the youngest in AVP history to do so, and now you're full-time on the beach. A lot of guys would consider you to be like favorites to qualify for Paris, which is pretty cool. It's been quite the whirlwind for you.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's really cool to be full-time. It's fun.
And like your first, I'm going to close the door real quick because it's loud. Might get a little warm. But so your first like extended road trip was in Brazil. You guys went to it was Itapema first and then Saquarema. Yeah,
I went to both.
How was it? Like international qualifier in Brazil, couple weeks out there away from home. I mean, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. Same sport. It was cool to get to. I really like Brazil. Never been to South America. Been to Europe, like Africa, Middle East, but never South America. So it was really cool to go there. You kind of feel like you're in I don't know if you know Star Wars, but you feel like you're in the outer rim of like Star Wars. It's still like kind of nice. There's people there, but it's just like kind of people don't know about it, and it seems like just away from everyone. So it was really cool. I love Brazil. Love the culture a lot. So it was fun to actually go because I knew I loved it before I went. So getting to see it, that was really cool. And qualifier was just kind of the same. Didn't get too homesick or anything. So it was good. Fun to be around Andy and Mike.
Dude, those qualifiers are freaking intense.
Yeah.
You played Alisson. Qualifier.
Yeah, the points are just, they can be, well, everyone's good. So yeah, it's not like someone else would have been like way, way worse. So everyone's good. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what's the, like, I've seen you play in really big moments. And it just seems like you never really feel much pressure. On the exterior, like you are the coolest cat out there. And watching you, like in Brazil, watching you win Atlanta, play Phoenix, like you just have this super calm confidence about you.
Yeah, I certainly probably look calm, but no. Yeah.
I'm wondering, are you as calm as you look?
No. I mean, that's pretty much no one out there. I mean, maybe there's a few people, but yeah, ton of nerves all the time. You're trying to calm them down. So, yeah, if it's at the end of a game, I'm probably like frantically repeating a Bible verse or something, especially if it feels really intense. Yeah. Or just like telling myself next ball like 10 times a second or something. So, yeah, just trying to stay in the moment because as the games get longer and longer, there's way more pressure to like the pressure to pull your focus off the current point gets higher and higher as the game gets longer. So you gotta like fight that harder and harder as it grows.
How do you fight that? I mean, that self-awareness at you're 21 years old is pretty impressive. I mean,
everyone feels it. Yeah. I think it's pretty universal. I think.
Do you think that your youth actually, because a lot, you look at like a lot of the younger players, they're 10 feet tall and bulletproof until they're 30 and they're like, oh, I realize that maybe I'm not. Do you think that your youth helps you? In situations where there's a lot of pressure? Like,
I haven't been humbled enough, so I think I'm, like, the best in the world and I can't get stopped. No. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes, but, no, I feel like I'm pretty aware that I can lose any match or win. So I try not to lose sight of both ends of it whenever I go into a game. So
because you look at the Swedes, David Amann and Jonathan Helvig, and it looks like they're just the most confident kids in the world.
Yeah, they went through the grinder though too.
Yeah, they did.
They had to grow for a while, and they lost a lot before they are where they are now or have gotten. So yeah, I mean, they've been through it too, but yeah, to the extent you think you have it, it's to your detriment. So
They
you can go as much as you want.
They obviously play a very similar style that you do.
Yeah.
But like I played you in a CBVA when you were maybe 15, and I feel like you've been
with
doing
Dylan
this.
Merrick, I was 15, and he was optioning like every ball.
Yeah, and I feel
like my passing was better then.
You and Marcus have been running that like a kind of a jump setty system for as long as I've really known you. Mm-hmm. Where did you start to?
USAV had these Chula Vista camps. That's where we first started doing it. They had this tournament and we were playing together. It was to qualify for like the U21 or U19. I think it was U21 like world champs in like Nanjing, China. So the day before the tournament started, we started doing more of that stuff, and it came pretty easily because we knew how to set. And we were playing some bigger blocks because the guys were a lot older than the normal. Because I was 15, I think he was 17, so we had to we just thought we'd do a bunch of shoot sets. I don't know if we were jump setting that much back then, but yeah, I kind of just started a little bit on a whim, like anything does, and then it kind of worked pretty well and then kept doing it. Yeah, the jump setting stuff kept doing it. I haven't done as many like quick sets like we used to do.
Yeah.
My brother did more of that stuff, like or quick right in front of you or back, or like fake going back set, stay in front or something like that. So that's a little bit more his alley as far as like natural tendencies. But yeah, I like to stick with the jump setting and optioning. I think that's good if it's my style of like trying to get the ball to the ground quickly.
You're doing a good job of that.
Yeah.
You and Andy have been impressive, man.
Yeah, I'm really glad Andy was willing to do the jump setting stuff because he really grinded a lot of it. We went to I have a post about like a little quick video about this on my Instagram, but there's a post of us working on jump setting in UCLA's racquetball courts. So they have like the John Wooden Center, and then there's these racquetball courts where you can just hit the ball against a wall. It's totally enclosed, so there's no shagging, and we got to go a few times, and Andy was just working really hard. We're trying to get the jump setting, like the spacing, the timing, the fake hitting, the vision, and just like being able to adjust in like all different directions depending on the pass, like all that stuff he was able to really work on in a concentrated way. Sometimes people want to add stuff in like little by little, and he went full blast. So that I'm really glad he was able to do that, and we're still working on it, and me too.
I was wondering how Andy would respond to that, because just his style of setting. I mean, he is low and slow, and then I was like, is he going to be able to jump set? But his jump sets don't look too bad, and he's brand new to it.
Yeah, it's funny. His setting's been, he said like when he started playing, setting was one of his best things. So yeah, it's nice when that's innate strength, but you can teach yourself it too. So but if you can set without using your legs, like you or Skylar Del Sol or kind of me, there's a few other players, but if you can set without using your legs a lot, then it's just like no different when you're in the air, because your legs weren't doing anything anyways.
And it's funny,
and you try not to do it on your way up too, so it's not like you get power from the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's that's kind of how he said. Yeah, you can do it both ways, but
yeah, because so many coaches will tell you, oh, you got to go like down, up with the set. Like,
I think you
legs.
should. Like, it's good. Like, it helps increase the length of the cadence, so the hitter can like latch onto your rhythm quicker or earlier. But it just doesn't translate to a jump set very well.
Yeah.
So I would still use your legs on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it helps the cadence. But
you're such a student of the game.
Yeah, I watched a lot of film, but
I feel like
everyone is. All the beach players are.
There are certain people though that just are obsessed with their craft in a good way, and a lot of, I feel like obsessed has kind of this negative stigma to it, but I feel like you're obsessed in like a really good way, where you're just so curious about how other people play volleyball. You watch film all the time. I remember talking to Dylan Merrick when he was coaching you. He's like, dude, like,
he taught me a lot.
Yeah, I'd be driving by his house and he'd be like doing plyometrics up the hill.
Who would?
Dylan Merrick, when he was coaching you.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, or maybe it was one of his coaches or one of his friends. Like, I just saw Miles like doing plyos up his hill. You're just such a student of the game.
That was just like this vert shock program I was doing that was helping my vertical. I think, he would come over to our house sometimes because he would coach us and help with the volleyball club. So I think he saw me doing that once. That's funny that he was doing it after, but it's good. It's not like my idea. I just took it from someone else. So,
and you executed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you always been just this like as curious? I think you're probably one of the more curious people I know.
I have a curious streak. Yeah.
Definitely
to me. It's kind of interesting where it comes from. It's nice to have it about everything because then it's just like nothing's boring. You have a lot of job opportunities that are like passionate about. You can be passionate about because you're just curious about everything. So as long as there's some system that has like a general semblance of like order to it, and like it's just if you're just curious about how those things work, then you can kind of go into any field and just learn how things work and kind of manipulate it favorably to make money if it's a business, or just win volleyball games or whatever. So yeah, but it's like sometimes it comes and goes. Curiosity is a special gift, and it's just a gift. It's kind of, you can kind of fan it into flame, which you should, but the spark is kind of like, it just comes from God. Like you can't really control it that much. You can expose yourself a lot though. Yeah. That's what you can do. So I try to do that with stuff, but
my brother, my older brother, who you met in Yosemite, is also one of the most curious people I know. And he loved talking to you. Like the whole drive up to I was talking to him, he goes, Miles asked more questions than I did, and no one asked more questions than I do.
Yeah, that was really fun.
It's a fun trip.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I loved the parking lot. Delaney's favorite parking lot. That was really fun. Yeah.
What's this like beach volleyball journey been like for you? I mean, when you qualified with Marcus, I'm curious what that was like back then, because were you 15 or 16? I
was 15. Yeah, that's like summer, and then the December after that, I was going to be 16.
And he was 17?
He was 17.
That is crazy. I mean, well, you beat some good teams. I mean, that was Formosa.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it was an extended draw, which helped all the qualifier teams. But everyone was good. So yeah, we upset pretty big time, like seeding wise. We were like, I think we were a pretty low seed. I don't remember doing another qualifier, or maybe I did. I don't know. I'd have to check VVB info, but yeah. So yeah, it was really cool. We had just kind of hit a little bit of a breakthrough, and things were like coming together quickly. So it hit on a good time. And it was also right after Nanjing, that U21 tournament that we went to, didn't qualify for. So we were just there the whole week, not playing, but we were watching like constantly the whole tournament. So I think that helped, just having a lot of mental reps. Yeah. Far more than any team that actually played in that tournament, because I watched like 30 matches. So yeah, that was cool. And then right after that was Hermosa. So yeah. But watching it, I watched it recently. So I was like just kind of putting up my Instagram a little bit, and went through like a little bit of a flashback post or something. So I went to one of those videos is on my Instagram. I was looking through it, and it's just funny how I thought about defense back then. Like it's so much less. I don't know. Like I was just watching myself do the moves I was doing, and I was like, I don't think there wasn't much thought behind that. It's just like get to the line or get to the angle, and kind of just be balanced and wait to get like maximize court coverage or something, which is weird because I wasn't like that with my hitting, but my defense was just pretty bland. So
it was good enough.
Yeah, no, it was still good, but it was it was good from a reading side of the game. And like I played a lot of skinny court growing up, so it was kind of just the same thing as that, except 2 skinny courts. So you just pick one and then do defense on that side.
Dude, one-on-one skinny court is the best. I mean, it's the best drill in all of beach volleyball.
It's a good drill. Yeah. Yeah, Andy and I have been doing it a little bit. It's fun. Yeah, it helps maximize touches.
And you're jump setting in one-on-one skinny court?
A little bit.
That's crazy.
I mean, so not tiring. Really. That was like, I posted that play because it was the only one.
Because it was awesome.
But it was also like a good rally. But yeah, it's not really, usually we pull anyways, or like just stay back so it doesn't do much. But yeah, it kind of felt right at that time. So
I think I play a lot of one-on-one. Me and Delaney play a lot of one-on-one skinny court.
Full court? Like so all the way back?
Full court.
like 1/3
about
width?
about a third.
Yeah, that's fun.
And but she will do 1-on-1 skinny court, full court with a third of it, and then we'll do diagonal.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we'll do it.
You'll get your third. She gets her third, or it's like a diagonal line.
So it'll be both of us will be on the right side. So we'll just make it just not all angles, and it's fun. We would do that for like 2 hours at a time.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
Yeah, you probably got a lot better.
You get so many touches
than doing a practice in that amount of time for
so
like certain
reps.
skills. It really helps.
It does.
Yeah.
But Andy, I think, is the best one-on-one player I've ever played against.
Really?
How do you do against him?
We played twice now. First time, I think I kind of want to keep score, but we're also working on some stuff. Sometimes there's some constraints we put in that aren't equal, so it kind of makes it like if he's just working on pole digging and I'm just like playing normal, I'm not like trying to do that, then he might be at a disadvantage. So, but it's probably been like he's won slightly more or like close to tied.
Yeah.
I think the first time he won more, the second time I won more than the last time. I don't know if it was more than him, but
yeah.
It's
fun. How's it been with Andy though? Because I know you had a great year with Lottie, which I'd love to talk about, but then I know that you pretty much had your pick of the litter for whatever blocker you wanted. Because I know that Theo loves you, Tri loves your game, and then you and Andy, you ended up going with Andy. I'm curious about your decision-making process. What made you lock in with him?
I know he's like pretty curious. So is, I don't know, other people are too, but I've played like another CBVA with him before. We also played at Dubai. We played like 3 weeks of tournaments earlier this year. So I knew more what I was getting into, and just watching his game, he has a high ceiling, and we get along pretty well and communicate well. So I think as far as growing the strategic like game theory side of it, he was a good choice. In my opinion, the best choice, but of the options I had. But you never know anything. But you never know everything. But I think I really wanted to play with him. He's also kind of like in my age bracket, sort of. Like he went through the club scene, and then went to USC, sort of around when I was at UCLA. Like it was before, but still. So we can relate on a lot of that stuff. And then he's also into the jump setting stuff, and I just liked how he thought about the game too. And I felt like we collaborated pretty well, like making decisions. No one person is too much like pushing their thing. It's just kind of, let's talk about it, share ideas, and like realistically compare them and choose the best one for like everything we do. So I like that kind of flow between the partnership. He's also likes watching film a lot, which I know everyone does, but that was good too.
Kind of. I mean, some people,
and he reads a lot too,
more than others,
which I liked.
He's getting into it.
And he's just a cool guy. So yeah.
And it's good, as you mentioned, you guys are sort of in the same age bracket. It's good if you're looking for that long-term growth.
I like life stage too, yeah.
Yeah, you're not only trying to build a team for Paris, but you're also probably looking at LA down the road.
I don't know. That was a side benefit, but if the world ended right after Paris was over, I think I'd make the same decision. Yeah. So it wasn't just like slightly worse, but then better long term. So then it pushed it over. It was already, in my opinion, the right choice for me. Had
you played against Andy much?
Yeah, I played against him like a couple times, and he played with Billy Allen and Lucena. Billy Allen 2 years ago, Lucena last year. I didn't play him when he played with Miles Evans, and then I played him in Phoenix when he played with Patterson. Okay. And then, I played him in like an open with Lev Prima, and he played with Adam Roberts. It was super windy.
Oh, was that at
in Zuma?
Zuma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like no one's there. Everyone left. It's like 7 p.m. like almost dark. And set point in the game to 28. Andy just whiffs it because the set blows like 5 feet after he jumped.
That wind was wild.
It was such a funny game. He's just serving like this and like over on one. Yeah. Pulls every time. Yeah, it was funny.
But
the balls like roll.
Yeah.
Like if you don't ditch the sand, it'll just roll forever until like.
I remember that tournament though because I played with my brother-in-law, and he was like could not.
Oh
have been,
yeah, I think I kind of remember that.
Yeah, and Delaney was so impressed with you because you had just gotten like a third in Chicago, maybe, or a fifth with Lottie.
Fifth with like Lotman. Yeah, that
was
just 2019.
Big finish. Like you were on your way to being the rookie of the year, and then I remember Jake was like, "Man, like that's Miles Partain." And you came right up to him like, "Hey man, like Miles, what's your name?" And Jake to this day is like now your biggest fan, as is Delaney. Cool. This is a very cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
But that tournament was funny. You played you've won with a lot of different people. You got Lev, you qualified a few times with him, had a great run with Lottie, won your first AVP, playing great with Andy, played a little small ball with your brother, and you went back to Seaside with Marcus.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Your style of play, I feel like you're able to meld and mesh with so many different personalities and talents.
Yeah, optioning can help sometimes, and then yeah, it depends on the player. All those players match up well with me, so yeah, it worked out good. Yeah, Marcus is really good at passing, so we can run the jump set stuff a lot, which is good. And then both kind of the same on defense. His serve's really good too, so yeah.
And you guys have such a cool relationship because you're obviously both really competitive people, but anytime around you guys, like, it's clear how much you and Marcus love each other as family and brothers. It's cool. Like, you guys seem like you're best friends.
Yeah. He's really cool. We talk a lot. So, yeah, pretty much can share anything, feels like. So, yeah, it's special.
How was it having your brother as your partner for so long?
It was cool. I feel like you kind of see... We were in the youth volleyball like scene for beach, which is a small scene for boys.
Yeah.
And it was funny. Yeah, the sibling dynamic is so funny to watch because it's like pretty much for sure, even if you're like the most like well-behaved kids, which I would get frustrated growing up. But we would just get mad. I would get more mad at him. He would kind of like a little bit. He's more the calm guy who will just stay cool and collected while I'm like about to blow up, and he'll just let it rise and kind of like push my buttons a little bit. So there was some of that, and then more just me getting angry at him. So, and there was kind of both, but that's kind of how I see like a lot of siblings play with each other, but there's a hump that once you're over it, it kind of ends, and it's kind of funny how we sort of got over it. I mean, it's still, we know each other so well, so the filter is like pretty non-existent. Yeah. But still, it feels it's easy to play with him now. Like in Seaside, it was really fun. We were just trying to win, but yeah, it's funny watching the kids play together because there's a lot of other kids who played just with their siblings, so they get frustrated at each other and then maybe stop, and I don't know. We kept playing together, and it kind of got over the hump. But we did take a break too, but I don't know. Played with other partners.
Is it kind of fun for you to watch like your sort of generation starting to come up? Like Tim Brewster's playing awesome volleyball. And
Marcus and Timmy were like partners for the longest time. Like three. Yeah. There's that whole partner shuffle in the like top of the AVP, but there's also the partner shuffle like 14 and under. Like all the moms are talking to each other, like scheduling the tournaments. Yeah, it's funny. So,
but Tim, I remember when we had Tim on the podcast, he was like, "Listen, we knew when we were little that we needed to get all the wins against Miles we could back then. We knew it wasn't going to be long until he started winning."
No, there's no way they could have tell. Yeah, it also depends how tall I grow, and they wouldn't know that. But yeah.
And you're what, 6'4" now?
I'm like 6'3", like true 6'3" without shoes. So
long arms.
Yeah. So that helps. It's really more about your reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just people talk about height so much. You can use that. But
what's your reach?
Pretty much every sport reach is more important. Like 8'3".
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's like every volleyball player is like, so you're about this is a men's net, like you.
Yeah, like right there. Yeah.
Yeah. With Lottie, you guys playing together. You were pretty young when you started because you played 2019. Was that when you got that fifth?
29. I think it might have been. Yeah, it might have been the year before that too, actually, for a little bit of tournaments. And then I don't know if we qualified for any, and then the next year, I don't know. It was either that, for sure 2019.
But you were young though, and Lottie was, he wasn't yet accomplished on the beach, but he was still an Olympian, like still one of the greatest, one of the best indoor players.
He was a good beach player though.
Yeah. How was that for you being so young, playing with someone of such a high stature in the sport of volleyball?
It was really special. Yeah, he definitely took a pretty like emotional team leader role, which was very fitting and good. And I learned a lot. And like he's really calm too, so there wasn't much of like a. Even though there was definitely like he's older, more experienced, he didn't seem to kind of lord that over me at all. So it felt pretty much like a team effort. So. Yeah, that was really fun. He has a lot of fire, but also knows how to play calm and consistent. So, yeah, he was great for the early years. But just in general, he's like a really good partner to play with. He makes his team better. Yeah. Even if he's not better, he makes his partner better. So,
did you feel like you could be like your full confident self playing on the court with someone so experienced? Because, like as an example, when Taylor Crabb started playing with Jake Gibb, he's like, dude, I couldn't. What am I going to tell Jake? You know, and then I got an Olympic gold medalist as a coach and Rich. So Taylor just didn't say a word for like the first 2 years. I'm curious how that was for you.
I felt that with some partners I played with that were older than me for sure. Yeah, it kind of depended on, I don't know exactly why, but with Paul, he had the demeanor that can like unlock someone like me, which I can be kind of guarded like that. Like I don't know, maybe if Taylor were to play with Paul, I don't know, but I've also played with Jake too, just in like King of the Court stuff, and it seemed similar. So I don't know, but at least with Paul and me, I felt like I could open up. But I did feel a little bit like I'll do my part, like do my best. I'm not going to really tell him what to do, or just like advise him or have an idea. I didn't really have ideas anyways. I didn't really know like what to tell him. So like, yeah. But it didn't feel like I was being stifled at all or anything when I played with him. So pretty much from the get-go, yeah. Yeah,
because you played with a couple experienced partners. You had Loomis. I know Loomis.
Yeah.
Loved playing with you. Yeah. That must have been fun. Loomis is a fun dude.
Loomis is really fun to play with, yeah. Training. The tournaments are what everyone sees, but then like each tournament comes with like 3 weeks of training, 4 weeks at least. If it's like partner hopping, it's probably like 3 weeks. If it's season, it's more. But that's like the gold is with playing with someone is just it's all equal. So the tournament is like 1/4 of the experience. Yeah. So
but Lumi, I was chatting with him. I caught up with him. He moved back to Atlanta for a little bit, but he's like, dude, when me and Miles partnered up, I got on a 2-hour phone call with Miles because Loomis is. I mean, he'll talk about anything. And you put him in a room with a curious person like yourself, and you can have a great conversation. He's like, dude, that was the longest conversation I've ever had with a partner was with Miles. He's like, I knew right away this kid was special.
Well, yeah, there's so much stuff. It's like such a waste of time to be like, go to a practice and you spend 5 minutes like, oh, where do you want your set? And what situations do you want it where? And it's like, you can do all of that over the phone. Yeah. Don't have to drive like 2 hours to meet each other. So we did like all that stuff, defense, transition, back sets, where we want to serve, who wants to serve how. Like there's so much stuff that you can just like make a document and just run through it as fast as you can if you ever play with a new partner, so that the practices are more like just ironing stuff out that you already know. So that's what I did that with Paul a little bit, and I did it with Lev a little bit, and with Ty.
It's super smart. I feel like everyone would love that.
I feel like we had to do it. It was like a necessity.
A lot of ground. It's easy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was good.
Part of being a good partner is just making your partner's life easier. I feel like that just makes their life so much easier when you just have like, here's where I want my set. Here's a good defensive philosophy. This, that,
defensive philosophy too. Yeah.
What would you say is your defensive philosophy? And you can reveal or not reveal as much as you want, but I think you have such a distinct style of defense, because you'll see a lot of players like you see I think you most closely resemble like a Christian Sorum, who sort of sits in the seam, shuffle, and then gets in, or you see some defenders just like get in their space and stay there. And you see other guys just start taking off. But you have this like shuffle left, shuffle right, shuffle left, and I'm in the line now. and then it'd be like the other way, and you're in the angle.
Yeah, I've done a lot of like trying to figure the same thing out. I talked with my brother and Tyler Hildebrand a lot. I did like I didn't intern, but I just like shadowed the national team practices.
Indoor?
No, sorry, for the beach things. Okay. Like they did them kind of consistently with like most of the top teams, and Tyler would help run them with like the 2020 Olympic cycle. So I would go to those, and that was really good. Tyler taught me a lot about like the theory, the game theory behind it. So then I sort of tried to use those principles whenever I was watching film, and it kind of evolved from there. And it's still evolving, but yeah, it's just like chess. So it kind of evolves. Everyone has their own style. You take what you can from other people and put in what your personality is like, has an affinity for, because that's a huge part too. So it all comes out in how you play defense. I'm more like I'm pretty skittish. Like if I was to get in a fight, like if there's no reward for losing, or like it's just, or if we're playing tag, like I'm super skittish. So you'll like never get me. I'm going to run. And if you're blocking me like over there, I'm going to hit it like, as far away from you as possible. I'm not going to like sneak it by you. Whereas Trevor, like, I don't know. I feel like he tries to like find the block and like get it right next to it. Or some other shooters are like trying to go over the block. I don't know. Sometimes I try to go way away, but there's so much court. You go way away and then it's out. So you have to, there's a balance in that stuff, and it all kind of converges to a pretty similar game to everyone else, but there's little differences here and there. So so the same thing with defense. So definitely like a chess game, you're trying to read the other player. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of toying with being a little bit more on defense, but I feel, at least last year, I felt like defense was offense and offense was defense. So you're trying to, the moves you have which offense is like you're attacking and they have to react. That's how it feels on defense. It's like you're attacking and they have to react.
I like that.
But offense felt like defense. It was like, which kind of, so it's not like I had it both. Probably the best is both are offense, right? I don't know, but it just feels like defense sometimes is more like offense. You shouldn't call it what it is.
Yeah,
it should be. They should flip it.
I like that.
Did you? So doing the shuffles is a big part of that.
Yeah. Did you get that yourself, or was that a Hildebrand? Kind of flipping it in that defense.
No, I mean it's based kind of on what he was saying, but he didn't specifically like use that language. But
you don't talk about a sharp volleyball mind. Tyler Hildebrand. He probably, I think he watches the most film of anyone I've ever met.
He's maybe watched more. He does a lot of studies. So he did some like blocking studies, which had like, I don't know, 200 matches associated with them. So he had to watch all of those and look at a very specific part of it. And then he did like all the scouting reports for a bunch of U.S. teams, or not all of them, but a lot of them, I think. So that's a huge amount of film too. Each team requires like 10 matches or something.
Yeah, and I know he was big on optioning. I mean, he's big on sort of, because we're putting together like all of the interviews we've done and taking the best snippets from each and putting them into a book. Yeah. Which would be, I think, pretty fun. But Tyler's, it was so fun to listen to because he's just such a proponent of film. He's like, if you see something one time, it doesn't mean much. If you see something a dozen times, it still probably doesn't mean much, even 100. He's like, but I've seen the best teams do this 1,000 times. Because I'm not telling you that you need to do it, but the game is. The game is telling you that this is the direction we're going, that's probably a good thing to add. And he was big on the option before it was as big as it is now. He was big on moving the offense, and he's big on blocking outside the body. Yeah, and the defensive now you see leverage. All the best teams in the world are optioning, moving the offense, and blocking outside the body. At least doing two of those three things. Yeah, I feel like most sports evolve like that. They have all evolved towards a more conning and stuff like that. I wonder if chess even evolved more to that, where chess is like at the higher levels you're trying to fake what you're trying to do a lot more because the pattern recognition is so high and like good that it helps to fake.
Yeah, even Survivor. You know the Survivor reality show?
Yeah.
It's evolved too. It's, you know?
I know. Now it's all about alliances.
Well, it used to be alliances all the way through to the end of the game. That's like
Yeah.
the equivalent of like being stopped and balanced on defense for beach.
Yeah.
And just like you stay in the same spot and like maximize court coverage, which some teams still do. And it's really, they're good teams. They're like top ranked teams. But yeah, Survivor was like alliances from day one. They wouldn't break till the end. You know, like we're into the final three. There's like a little bit, but now it's like at least the season since I stopped watching, and like way more blindsides, way more like conning and changing alliances, and like just that's how it's weird how that evolved. And volleyball is now like a lot of conning, like trying to fake people out, and then there's trade-offs with that you have to keep in mind, and it's like I think basketball and football probably all had the similar journey and still are on it. Pretty much everything where people compete.
Yeah. It's been cool
like
to
math.
watch beach volleyball go through a couple different adaptations, because when I first started playing, like 2016-ish, the game was getting huge. Like, I mean, you probably had 10 to 12 7-footers on the men's side.
Height, yeah.
The height of the blockers, but then when a lot of federations just didn't have 7-footers, so they're like, all right, well, how do we beat these guys? We go small and fast. And then you saw like the offenses now the big men are sort of getting pushed out, because if you can't keep up, you're just getting open net swings all the time, and the defenders like, what do we do? And like the adaptation of the game has been really fun to watch.
It's all like converging to well, it'll keep moving. Yeah, it'll probably keep moving. I don't see how far it can move past an option though. Maybe you could, I don't know. There's going to be like a
Kusti
limit.
Novak's now just setting it over on one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you tried that yet?
A little bit. Yeah, it's good. The vision's kind of bad. Well, maybe it could be good. I don't know. Sometimes you do it blindly and you just hope.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of attacking.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But
speaking of trying to take things from different people, I think you have the arm swing that I'm sort of trying to emulate the most. Mm-hmm. You like coil it so fast, and then you hit it. Your contact point is so high, and ever since I started tweaking it to try to resemble yours a little bit, my side out percentage has gone way up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So thank you for that.
No, that's you learning
from you.
You could have learned it from Smedens. Yeah, or someone else.
So you kind of modeled yours after Smedens?
I don't know. No, it went through so many iterations. Yeah. Like, there's so many videos on my phone of, like, arm swing, like, trying to figure out what's the best arm swing and, like, copying people. I used to hit, like, similar to how a lot of girls hit with, like, a lot of lumbar, like, extension and, like, really high elbow. And then, like, some guys hit like that, too, but.
I mean, Jake Gibb, that was the signature.
I'm talking more about, like, like this. You know, a lot of girls hit like that, especially younger girls. Like, they'll start playing volleyball like that. So that's how I kind of hit. And then it started slowly going more and more down. And then my wrist started going more and more down because I was trying to, like, Tyler taught me a lot of stuff. He showed me, like, some of the arm swings from top players from beach and indoor, and, like, showed, and Theo Brunner showed me a lot too. He showed me this article from George Jastis, which is like a Greek guy, because Theo's sort of from Greece. I mean, his wife is, so he goes there. So he showed me that article, and then I, like, saw that, tried to play around with some stuff, and I have a field at home that I can, like, tinker with my arm swing. Like, if something, like, comes to me, I'm thinking, like, deliberately, but sometimes things just come to me, and if I, like, don't want to lose it, like, I'll just go on my field and work on it. It's kind of like music. Like, you just, when an idea comes to you, you just, like, go play it, see how it sounds. If it's good, you keep doing it and, like, develop it. If it's bad, you just throw it out. So that's kind of how I feel like a lot of my volleyball game has developed. And I have, like, a wall I can hit balls against outside, so a lot of my passing was developed through that. Same with setting. A lot of shots too. That wall at my house is probably
it's amazing.
It's so good. Like, you need it to be, like, a certain height. Because too low, it's not very good. But yeah, I probably hit like 100. I don't know how many, like,
a big number,
100,000 balls against. Just, it's so much fun to, like, learn. I did it at UCLA too. Like, water breaks or after practice, I would just go to the wall in our gym and, like, practice setting and passing and stuff.
It's amazing how useful just a wall can be.
Yeah, you can get so much better with a wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't need anything.
When I first moved
it's all about
here,
self-discovery too, so it's like just you. I love it.
It's the best. When I first moved here, I'd go to 24 Fitness, and I didn't know anyone here yet, and so no one would play with me.
You don't need to. You can just use a wall.
Man, I would just use a wall, and then I'd set into a basketball hoop. Yeah. And I'd be like I'd practice with hitting tennis balls. Yeah. I thought that would make my hand contact better.
Really?
And it kind of did. But you also... If you do
That's interesting.
If you do it too much, though,
what happened?
Your snap gets thrown off.
Really?
Because if you snap on a tennis ball, the timing of it's different.
Really?
So I'd try to be coming over top of volleyball, like with the speed that I would a tennis ball, and so just like.
Yeah, but using different implements can help. Like now you learn, there's different ways to snap. Like that could be helpful. I don't know. You should probably use that again at some point, right? Or just knowing that there's like one timing and there's multiple, and you need to get the right one. Yeah. Like all that little stuff you learn is really helpful in problem solving. Like
and now in between sets of weightlifting, we have a bunch of Wilson mini balls. And so I'll just pass a mini ball against a wall for like 2 minutes, and then I get back to it.
That's great. Yeah.
Because then you go to pass a real ball, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This thing's huge.
And it hits one arm anyways, like 80% of the
time. Makes me feel better that you say that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how people like, it usually hits one arm. That's what Andy showed me that, but yeah.
It's, I wonder just how many, because you're only 21, but with that wall that you have at your house, I mean, you probably have the reps of like a 35-year-old.
I don't know. The reps are also higher quality when you're a kid because your like brain is squishier. So or at least they could be worse quality too. You could ingrain really bad habits, but they're not necessarily higher quality. They're like more impressionable. So I don't know. It's hard to tell, but definitely probably some guys I probably have reps over in certain skills. Yeah, especially setting too, because like I did indoor stuff too. So that's like 200 sets of practice.
Do you miss indoor?
No, not a lot. I'm happy to be on the beach. Yeah.
And how was you left UCLA in January?
I was looking today. I think it was January. It wasn't January. It was the very end of January or the very beginning of February, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Somewhere in that winter.
Yeah.
How because obviously, I mean, you were kind of in like a win-win. You're on a great team at UCLA. Yeah. You finish the season, you guys probably still are competing or winning a national championship, or you can go play full time on the beach. Yeah. Two good options. I'm curious what the decision making. Yeah.
I thought I could do both like simultaneously, or like both at a decently high level and like high commitment level, and it kind of dawned on me when the FIVB schedule came out how much or like how many percentage points I was sacrificing on Andy and I's odds of qualifying with like the 3 out of 4 thing, world champs coming up, the finishes you need to obtain before world champs. And then the training, like having to come off the indoor season, which ends like 2 days ago because they just finished. And then like all that takes like a lot of emotional focus and whatever. So it might be nice to have like a dead week or a dead month, which I probably wouldn't have had any of that. You got to go straight to beach and grinding and like trying to get everything up and running and get the plane up and flying before these Europe tournaments that are coming up. Some of which we might have not even got into if I hadn't played these Brazil tournaments. So yeah, at the time, like January and before that, I was like, yeah, this is going to be difficult to do both. I think felt like for sure I could have at least like tried to do both, but it felt like I was kind of taking a lot too much away from beach, and beach is where I have a lot more like intrinsic passion. So So then we had like 5 games or something. I don't know how many. And then I was thinking about it, but I just, with the Olympics, like how much that was. And then I wouldn't have left if our team didn't have like other setters, but we had like 2 other good setters. I didn't feel like I was abandoning them. So, I thought it was a good decision to leave. I wanted to keep playing beach. It didn't feel like a win-win situation to stay.
Yeah.
It was lose on either side. I had to lose somewhere. I was going to lose on beach if I stayed. I was going to lose on indoor if I left.
Yeah.
So I was just like in a little bit of a pickle, but I knew I wasn't like abandoning the team. So that kind of gave me a little bit more clearance in my head, to leave. Cause I wouldn't have done it if it was like the Hawaii setter leaving. Like, I don't know what they have on their bench. They actually might have some other really good setters. I'm not sure, but if he left, that's a big deal. But like if I left, I knew we had good hands to set the team. So
Yeah.
And then also school was getting kind of tough, and that was like the busiest season yet because my freshman year was like really heavy lockdowns, so it was all online, like super delayed, canceled season, so it was like very minimal. And then sophomore year had like a lot of lockdowns too. It was like kind of the season amount of games was diminished. We had like a ton of home games, and then the next year, like we had a bunch of away games because we used all our home games, and there was a bunch of travel in that last quarter of school, which is the quarter I was graduating. And like, I was concerned about just finishing my classes. I might have to take another quarter because I didn't know how I'd do. So all that stuff kind of came together, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to step away from the team. So got to play full-time beach, which was really good. And I'm happy I got to. I'm really happy the guys won too. I kind of thought me leaving would potentially make them better as a team, because like I thought it might improve some of the team dynamic with like playing time stuff, which is a big part of every team. So, they won. So my theory is at least not contradicted, but it's not necessarily true either. But yeah, I was really happy they won though. Watched the game 2 days ago, and I was cheering a lot.
It was a good final.
Yeah, it was a really good final.
Yeah, and Andrew Rowan, he was a capable fill-in.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, I got to see him like for 4 months before I left, and I was like, yeah, this guy's very good. So.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I mean, you ended up playing 2 fantastic tournaments in Brazil. Mm-hmm. UCLA ended up winning a national championship. Yeah. Your theory was right. Bam. Bingo.
Yeah. Let's go.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
And do you think that your play in Brazil, like, would you have been able to go? Do you know?
I might have. It was 2 tournaments. I don't know. Sproul was willing to work with me. The UCLA coach, John Sproul, was willing to work with me for playing beach. But it's just kind of, it's so much about like, we're all in, we're bought in, which is what like most college programs are like. And it's kind of weird to have someone like leave, but I think he would have been okay if I lent to at least 1. I don't know about 2. So yeah, I don't think I would have been able to go to both. And then the training too, though, like having full-time training, like film too. And just like mental focus being like one direction would have been compromised as well.
Yeah.
If I had done like a hybrid thing.
Yeah. Well, selfishly, as a beach fan, as a USA fan, as a Miles Partain fan, I'm really happy that you went full time on the beach. It's good to see you out there.
Yeah. I was planning to do it anyways, but I did it earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
I was really happy to be here. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Is it cool for you, or is it still a little bit surreal that you are a legitimate contender to qualify for the Olympic Games?
Direction is to try to get there, and evaluations on it happening or not are to be postponed until it happens or it doesn't. I don't think it helps that much to like evaluate. Agreed. So like the direction is set. We're going to go to as many whatever tournaments we think will give us the best odds, and it's in God's hands where it goes. So yeah, if it dawns on me or not, I'm not trying to focus on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys playing the World Championships thing tomorrow?
Yeah, we're playing in that NORCECA qualifier.
Okay.
Yeah, so
for our listeners,
there in the morning.
Have already been over, so you'll know who won. But
oh yeah,
it's I mean, everyone's playing, but I think Tryon came, right?
I don't know. I didn't look at the bracket.
Okay.
I know when we play, though.
When do you play?
I play at 10.
Okay. Do you know, do you have to win 2 or 3?
We play at 10, which is the quarterfinals.
Okay. So quarter, semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you start with?
I don't know. We play the 8 versus 9. I haven't
you play.
I haven't looked at the teams yet. Yeah.
Got it.
So.
Yeah, I'm planning on coming out to watch that. I was thinking about signing up. I was like, man, I don't want to mess up a legitimate world championship Olympic race, because even if I qualify, I'm commentating the world championships anyway. So it's like all I do is just mess things up. I'm gonna be better as a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they should. Yeah, that would be funny if you played and commentated your game on a mic,
just live.
I feel like you could, once you get to a certain level where everything's super automatic and you can just kind of go on cruise control during a game, which. Yeah, that'd be really funny.
It's been, commentating, I think, has actually helped me strategically a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because when I'm commentating, I'm only viewing the match through the lens of what's happening and what's the strategy.
Yeah.
And when I'm in a match, I'm like, if I were commentating, what would I be saying right now? It's like, why have we served Bill Kalinske 8 times in a row and he's sided out 8 times? Like, let's give Hagen a ball. Yeah. It's helped.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, yeah. If you can explain something, you know it a lot better.
For sure.
Actively explain it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know from all the learning.
Yeah.
Books.
Writing about it, talking about it, podcasting. It's put my, I think, improvement on as expedited as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And so your schedule, you have the World Championship thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's next for you guys? Huntington.
Yeah, there's the Huntington AVP, and then there's some Europe tournaments. So we're gonna do the Huntington AVP, and then we leave after that for. I think the first one's Ostrava, and then there's I don't know the order. I think
Are you guys in? Are you in Elite 16s now?
We're in the qualifier for Ostrava.
Sweet.
Which is an Elite 16.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Is that your first Elite?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it playing Maldives and Dubai? Was that
good.
your first time competing on the road? I know you did some U21 stuff, but a little bit different.
It was really long flight, but it was fine. We got there early enough to adjust. Yeah, it was cool. All the same kind of feeling as playing EVPs, not too much different. Level was sort of better, sometimes worse. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Pretty spread out skill levels there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really cool. Good time to it was I don't know, if Andy and I didn't do well-ish, we might not have been able to do the other tournaments we just did in Brazil, and then if you can't do those and you can't do the next ones, I mean you're kind of, it's pretty cutthroat with the entry points, so I'm really glad we got to do those. And I was doing school during it, but I kind of just deferred all my school and just was committing to catching up.
I mean, that's a long. You were in Asia for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I got lost 3 weeks on school.
Jeez.
I did 1 week of partial school or the bare minimum just to not take huge hits to my grade, and then I just decided to grind when I got back. I thought I was gonna do school there, and I just was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and then, tough to do school when you're staring out the Maldives.
You guys want to go to the sand dunes in Dubai, and I was like, that was our one day off. I was like, I'm gonna go ATVing on the sand dunes. I'm not gonna write an essay about I don't even know, something stupid. So
yeah, it worked out. I mean, you won a gold medal.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. You guys were the first to win a gold medal in a pretty long time.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was special. Mm-hmm.
And you won. That was the first Dubai you won, right?
Yeah, first Dubai.
Then second one you got?
We got ninth.
Ninth? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long trip. I'm sure you probably learned a lot about travel and trying to stay fresh and healthy.
Yeah, that's a big part of the game.
As you know, you're going to have to do that quite a bit. 3 weeks sometimes is the bare minimum. He's Shakhtar Deer, and we're on the road for 11 weeks.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, it's constantly stressful. You're just out of your natural, whatever's your normal it's always changing. So that's like the definition of stress is like a change to what's normal. So it's always stressful traveling. Everything's changing.
How do you do with travel and the sleep and everything?
It's okay. Yeah. I'm fine sitting in the middle seat if I have to. Like, I don't really care, but yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. I don't like hate it, but I don't like it either.
Yeah. How are your knees?
They're pretty good. They're a little like tendonitis-y. I've done a lot of research on like driving to Hermosa and back so much for these practices. There's podcasts I listen to, and one of them's called The Jacked Athlete. It's like really good. It's all about, mostly about patellar tendinopathy and like just jumper's knee. So I've been able to use a lot of his stuff to help like rehab, which has been really nice to kind of know from a sciencey perspective what's going on and like practical how to fix it too. So
you ever listen to Knees Over Toes guy?
Yeah, I've listened to him a good amount. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, what have been some things that have helped you with your knee? Because I think about 80% of our listeners probably have some kind of tendonitis going on.
Yeah, patellar quad tendonitis is huge. Yeah, there's a bunch of components to it that the Jacked Athlete guy, Jake Tura, talks about. I bought his like PDF thing that shows you kind of a model for how to think about and treat patellar tendonitis, and I really like it. It's not it's not special, but he just talks about doing active like recovery. You don't want to just kind of rest it and do like light stuff. So he has a really good like ladder on how to get back to training. The bottom of it is like doing a bunch of isometrics. It's like just staying in the same position, contracting muscles against a load. So there's a lot of like quad isometrics that are really good. And there's like, there's a really cool YouTube video about stress shielding and stress relaxation with like what your tendons do, and isos help use that effect. But if you take a piece of paper, I tried doing it myself. You take a piece of paper, you rip it like slightly, just a little bit, and then pull from the ends. And like that little rip the stress is supposed to like redistribute to the healthy fibers of the piece of paper. So paper probably won't break the first rip, the first pull. But if you just hold the pull and like hold it slowly, like the fibers that are shielding the stress from the rip part will like start to relax, and then the stressed part will get stress and it'll actually rip. The paper will rip. So that's kind of like the idea with isometrics with your, at least how I like to think about it with for my knee. So you can do those, get the stress shielding thing so that the injured part of the tendon actually gets like load on it, because it'll just be stress shielded if you just do it like for a normal concentric or like normal rep where you go down and up without a long isometric. That's like at least 30. Well, they say 30 seconds is like the optimal time, but I don't know, based on some studies and stuff. So I like that. That's the bottom of the ladder. And then there's like a few other stages with like weightlifting, like store and release, and then finally return to play. So I use that like framework to kind of assess my knee health. But then there's a bunch of stuff with my ankles that have really helped too, because if your ankles are weak and they can't absorb energy, it shoots up to your knee. So if you can't do like single leg tuck jumps, or at least double leg tuck jumps without your ankles like clapping the ground, like that's a problem. So I realized that recently, and I just did a bunch of single leg jump rope jumps that helped my knees a lot. Andy says you should just drink 2 gallons of water and that'll fix everything a day.
I love it when Andy gets on a theory like that.
It worked for him though. Like he was hurting and then he did it and it wasn't. And then he stopped and it started hurting again, and then he did it and it wasn't. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm on board. I'm with him for the 2 gallons of water a day. But Andy was he swore off weightlifting for like 8 years. I'm glad to see he's back on it. He looks great now.
Yeah, but he's a funny guy.
He's so funny. I freaking love Andy. Show up to practice, like no shirt, just a gallon of water. Lucinda cracked up about that. Like, no backpack? Nothing?
No warm up?
Nope.
He's warming up a little more now, but he's also convinced me the warm up is not that necessary. I don't warm up that much anymore.
No, because you and Tim Brewster were the warm up kings.
Yeah, I used to warm up a lot. I had all the bands and everything, and I've gotten more into like a play art mode. Probably a little too much right now, but there's like the science art spectrum, or I don't know. You can be like super clinical and data driven and like 3 sets of 8, like every time, every day, like track everything, measure everything kind of vibe, or like, let's just do what we want. Let's be like in the flow state of having fun and like make stuff up on the fly. And like, I don't know. I'm more in the art side right now, but like still trying to, you kind of have to know the science rules. And then once you know science, once you know the rules, you can learn when to break them. So like, I feel like I have a decent understanding of the muscles that need to be on and like what they protect if they're, or what's vulnerable if they're not. And then like, I'll just do stuff I'll just kind of wait for them to turn on. If they're not, I'll do something I need to. And then like, I like doing a lot of the animal flow, like bear crawls and all the different like lizard crawls and amoeba things a little bit, and like handstands and stuff. So I just do some of that for warm-ups and some band stuff too. But yeah, it's been nice, like doing a lot of research on like how the body works and like muscles and stuff, and all the planes of movement, and has helped kind of make me relax that like, okay, I don't need to do that. It's just like a suggestion that has these general effects, but it's not gonna kill you if you don't do it. This is why, and all that stuff. So it's really nice like having some of that knowledge, but sometimes it's just laziness not working out too, or not warming up. It's just like, let's just play.
I think playing CBVAs has just like crushed my warm up routine.
Yeah,
I'm like, listen, we're on our 6 nights a day. Just roll out the ball. Now I show up to practice like 2 minutes before, because I used to be like a 20-minute warm-up guy. Now I just like show up, hypervolt.
You just warm up during the game. Like, just don't jump. You gotta be careful. You cannot max jump like until you're ready. Yeah. Like once you just can't do that. Like probably max hits too, but especially the jumping if you have knee stuff, and then hitting if you have back stuff probably, or shoulder stuff. But just wait. Like just wait a little bit. The competitive juices will start to flow, and like, I don't know, everything's activated. But there's a balance of science and art, and you need to find it for you. Yeah. Just
play some one-on-one skinny court for a little bit.
Yeah, that's like full. Going. I mean, it's a lot of science too, but yeah, it's like a very art heavy, or like play flow state heavy. That's what I really like, the skinny court. Yeah. It's like not clinical at all, and like it's just having fun. You learn a lot more like that. So
yeah, fun with a purpose.
That. Yeah, fun with a purpose. It doesn't have to be fun though, but like it usually is. But that's not the point.
Because I mean, I have the most fun when I know I'm getting better at something.
Yeah, you have the fun. Yeah, exactly. Same. Yeah.
Like I don't like goofing off isn't fun. Like goofing off in practice isn't fun.
Yeah, it depends what you think is fun. Yeah.
Right. Like if I want to have fun, like goofing off at dinner or whatever after, or like playing a board game, that could be fun. But at practice, goofing off is just a waste of not just your time, but everyone's time. Yeah,
well, sometimes goofing off is getting better. I mean, not like your thought of goofing off might be jump setting, and that's actually something you should do. Yeah, maybe like if you think it fits wherever you think you should spend your chips or whatever on.
Yeah, see, I think
spend your time on what you want to get better.
Goofing off with a purpose, like that's fun with a purpose.
Yeah, it's got to be purpose driven stuff. But some stuff sometimes it can kind of take a while for it to like get good. So it might look horrible at first, and you just have to like chalk it up to goofing off while that's happening. But if you can see a purpose at the end of it, it's with a purpose for sure.
That's I have so much trouble with this, because I think I have one of the worst practice records in the history of beach volleyball.
Like losing?
I lose all the time, because I'll come in with like 3 focuses. Like one focus is optioning, or one focus is arm swing. And like if I'm doing, even if I'm optioning out of bounds, I'll still keep doing it, and I'll lose. And
you should be practicing this practice how you play in a game, exactly, Travis.
I know, but then I go through that, and I'm like, well,
that's like not a good.
I gotta practice winning.
That's
right?
not good.
Yeah, I'll go into a match. I'll be like, man, I haven't won a set in like a week.
Yeah, and then you win in like these games, and then lose a bunch to get the underdog benefit, and then you go back to the
exactly.
It's like way better to lose in practice. If you're trying hard in practice, it's way better to lose. Yeah, way better.
Especially
like, it keeps you humble. It keeps you like thinking you need to get better, and then games. It's also really good to lose for your development, but it just kind of sucks when you're trying to get results. But yeah, there's a bright side to everything.
Yeah. It's funny because like if I'm like I'm play Huntington with Shachter, like never played with Shachter before, so I don't want to be like losing with Sam. He's gonna be like, bro, I came all the way from Toronto to play with this.
I've had that balance too, like playing with really good players, and I'm like, okay, like I'm not trying to work on anything. I'm going full like game mode. I'm doing,
I gotta go
doing the absolute best I can right now. Yeah. Like, yeah, so there's different modes that you can play in, but the typical, like, practice like a game, so it transfers to the game. Like, people weightlift. Like, that's a huge contradiction to that. Like, you never lift a 45-pound metal bar in a game, but they still say it transfers. Like, right. And then it's like that whole practice like a game mentality is like very much contradicted by weightlifting. Like, if that was true as a all-encompassing rule, and then it doesn't all-encompass training either. So, people know that, but sometimes they take it too far. I think it should be taken pretty far the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I love talking to you. Like, the stuff just comes up that's fun to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, training theory. It's fun.
Yeah. Because all sport is hypothesizing and theory and testing and seeing what works for you.
It's like humans. They're not very predictable.
Might not work for you. Like, what works for you is jump setting and optioning, but if you're not a great jumper and you don't have a great feel for it, jump setting and optioning is probably not a great idea.
It depends, if you put it under development, like put it under R&D for a while and just
under just R&D, I love that.
Just keep practicing it like relentlessly, like lower your training partner quality, like try not to play with players as good, so you can like kind of have just kind of an understanding that you'll play to where you close-ish to where you would in a match. So if you're not going to do that, just play with people a little bit worse, and then you can practice with stuff you want to work on.
I like that.
I think you should, if you wanted to do like something new.
Yeah.
Like a lot that would like compromise practicing with better players, just go practice with someone else or practice on your own against a wall.
There you go. The wall's always there.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need other people always. It's good to have both.
What's like, what does fun look like for you?
For just life in general?
Just like the greatest enjoyment. Because I think, when you won Atlanta, it looked like you were like, why don't I don't get to play more volleyball? Because Paul's like celebrating and you were just like ready to play another point, it looked like. Because some people chase those highs. But I feel like.
No, it was a high. But
yeah.
Yeah, they're the more fun things I have, like I'll get way more excited if I learn how to. Like, I used to not be able to hit line at a late decision point very well, and it would severely limit my attacking options. And the process of learning that and some of the breakthroughs I came through to try and add it into my game was way more fun than winning Atlanta to me, I think. At least like a pure fun.
Yeah.
Atlanta feels like it was very fun, but it was like different. I don't know. It's more pure when you just like you're working on something, you find a breakthrough just by yourself, and like you just go tell Marcus or something about it. That's like really fun for me.
Well, because then it just feels dividends for every match.
Yeah, and it's actually like winning Atlanta probably made me worse for the next tournament. Like actually, like mentally, like I'm like entitled, like, oh, I'm gonna win everything again. You actually did play worse in the next tournament. It's like I'm trying to win like as much as possible, like everyone else is if you're competing, and it's like, well, winning actually takes away from that. So yeah, usually people don't play as well. They play much better after losing. So it's always better to lose in the practice right before a tournament starts.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to not try. And like, I don't know. I'm always like,
it has to be a genuine loss.
It's genuine loss, but you're trying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then, which doesn't always like, yeah. And then when you win, you're like, oh shoot, like, all right, I gotta be careful, like, for this first game of this tournament.
Yeah.
You know? And then if you lose, you're like, dang it. Just like naturally, dang it. Yeah. You're just like, okay, I need to really be focused.
What gets you going the most? I feel like you're just so fired up by learning, because some people, they're like, they love being the underdog, love like getting that fire from loot, like that fear of failure gets them going. A lot of people are motivated chasing those highs. Oh
yeah. No, the fear of failure is a big thing too, I think. Yeah. But like, I also really do like the learning, but yeah, I don't know. I like winning. I don't know. I probably like losing less than, well, if I play well from a mental, I've heard Theo talk about this. If you feel like you had a good game, you did what you thought leads to positive outcomes, and like you did it consistently, and like at your best ability, you stayed like confident and aggressive throughout the whole match, like minimal amounts of hesitating, and like And if all that stuff happens, or like a high percentage of it does, kind of up for debate what that percentage is. But if you feel good about it, I'm okay with losing a lot of times. But then if I feel like I kind of got weak in a certain moment and I didn't like notice it and flip it and just kind of wallowed in it, then I'll be like, that's the worst. Yeah. I don't like that at all. Yeah. That's way worse than how good winning is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Winning's not, I mean, winning like ugly isn't even that fun either. I mean, it's cool to win, but it's fun when you just like play well and do stuff you're working on like good. And then sometimes losing like that is more fun than winning.
Yeah.
Like not like that.
Are you like when you are playing in a real match, are you able to turn off like, here's what I'm working on and just say, let's just go
the
win?
Pressure is so high. Like if my brain doesn't feel like it's like ready for execution, it just won't do it. Yeah. Which is like a really you've probably noticed that too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's
especially
like,
with
it's a law of like
golf.
Human nature. Yeah.
Golf's the
I'm sure every
thing.
sport.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Like trying some new kind of shot or what?
Yeah. A new shot or just like a little tweak in a swing or
if it's
chip.
the last hole and scores here, will you do it?
No.
You'll never do it. No. Yeah. You're only going to do like, but then you can't be one dimensional too much. Well, golf doesn't matter. I mean, with that, but like with beach, if you're one dimensional, that's difficult. But like then that, I mean, those high pressure moments help like spur your like deep decision making. That deep decision making, like in your brain, where it's like very far back there. It's really hard to like tinker with it. It's like stuck. Like people will work on shots like they'll shoot like 90% of practice hits. Like I'm working on my high line today, like working on my cut shot, and they go in the game and it's like they'll probably do like one cut shot and it was probably like dug. They probably got it dug. And then the rest of their things are like hits. Yeah. And then it's like and they're like, it's the same thing with me. So I'm trying to like find ways, once you can get something really resonant and smooth and fluid and like it fits into your other attacking things well, like it doesn't make your decision point like super early, by choosing to do like a certain attack trajectory, then it might pop up in the game. Yeah. It kind of pops up though. You don't really choose it. You kind of gotta let the engine run. That's how do you feel like that too?
I do.
Like
I think it's funny when you do things in a match that you really haven't done before. That happened against Bill and Hagen.
That's one of the funnest things.
Oh my gosh. We had this because it was really
good,
windy.
Right? Something good.
Yeah. It was really windy. And Avery set this ball and it drifts a little tight, but I had already sort of taken off anticipating a good set. Avery's one of the best setters I've ever played with.
He's so good at transition setting.
So I was like going to hit my like baby line. I love that shot, but it wasn't. I couldn't get over it, and so I just like hit it with my palm like a float surf, and I just like hit a float surf baby line that worked. And I was walking back. I was like, I've never hit that in my life.
That's the best. That's like the benefit of being like an instinctual player. Is those things come more. Yeah. You know, and then the analytical player, like you got to really help. Which is like me, like you gotta, those kind of things are a little far in between. But when you're in the flow state, they're more frequent. So just getting there.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun when that happens. And it's kind of rare too. Rare things usually are more fun.
Yeah. It's gotta be fun for you as a data-driven guy when you have that instinctual play. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's fun. Skinny court is full of those, which is why skinny court is good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Because I think it has a good chance of like breaking into your deep like pattern recognition or like decision making. Yeah, it can actually break in there pretty far. You're like playing against your partner. Every game's like deuce, pretty much. Yeah, you're up by 5 points. You like totally relax. Yeah, they go back up, and it's like every game's like 11-9, 12-10. Like it's all super close, which I like about that. Yeah. So.
With you and Andy, are you guys like competitive with each other?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
It's nice though to do the skinny court thing to compete against your partner. Just like I think it's healthy to have like some, or even a partner practice where you like play against each other. Yeah. I think it's good.
It is.
Like if you feel like your partner's doing something, you're like, bro, like you're gonna get blocked on this. Like you do it way too much, or like this is not a good way. Like you can't pass from this direction, or like. You suck at passing serves from this angle. Like, I'm going to show you so you know. Because it only happens, like, once a match. And now I'm going to, like, so it's kind of fun to, like, you get to show them, and vice versa too. And it's kind of a nice way to like communicate without communicating, because that kind of stuff is like, you don't want to be like always saying that kind of stuff. It's not helpful. So
right.
It's fun. Yeah, competing against, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Like for partner health.
I think for sure, because then it's fun.
But I haven't done it that
when
much.
you see how you would play against your partner. It's helpful for both of you.
And then also there's a learning side. Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Beyond just the partner, like dynamic socially. Yeah.
Do you read a lot?
No, not a lot.
Okay.
I wish I would.
I
make all these plans too. But
you
no.
have such you're so conceptual.
I listen to podcasts.
Okay.
And like I'll read articles. I've gone on some like strength and conditioning like rabbit holes where I'm like in the flow state for like 6 hours at a time. Like the whole day. I'm just like
I love
looking
that.
at I'm like completely like tuned out from everything, like no YouTube breaks, no like anything. Just full like looking at articles from like different things, like just, oh, that's interesting, let me go through that. I like pound through like 10 articles, take notes on them, like trying to organize the notes, and like
awesome.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. I've read a lot through like articles sometimes. Mostly podcasts though. But then like some books. I read a little. I probably read more than like an average person my age, but like I don't think I read nearly as much as you or Andy. So
But you devour podcasts, which is
it's
like
I
a
drive
mini
a
audio
lot,
book.
so
So
sometimes you
it's
get
still
annoyed
good.
that it's like a mini audiobook. Sometimes really big ideas can't be transmitted through a podcast. So then sometimes audiobooks are nice.
Yeah.
Like one big idea.
Because I think podcasts are so good because it's just these little nuggets of information.
Yeah.
Whereas, if I read a book, even though I'm a slow reader, I just dedicate a lot of time to reading. So I'm able to get through a lot of books. But even if I'm a slow reader, like I still only take maybe 10%.
I know, yeah, that's what. But it's like, did that other 90 help that 10 be like really solid?
True.
Like, how much do you think? Because then it's like, okay, let's just go to one of those like summary websites and just read that. Like, why am I ever reading a book?
Right.
And I feel like that other 90% can help. Like,
See,
it's
I've
like
never
setting
thought
up
about it that way.
setting up the stage for like a movie. Sometimes stuff is like really boring at the beginning, but it really helped set the stage to make it like a good movie later.
It helps that climax.
Like Andor, the new Star Wars series.
I haven't seen it.
First three episodes, like pretty slow, relatively very slow. And then it just picked up from there, like really good. But it just like, you needed, without those first three, it probably would have lost a lot of quality. So. But then like, what did you take away? I don't know if I would mention anything from the first three episodes, but they still.
That's a good way to look at it.
But I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Sometimes maybe it is just that 10%. I don't know how.
Yeah, because you've read
much the 90 helps.
Ayn Rand's books.
A little
monsters.
I haven't read them. No, I just fans of philosophy.
Okay.
I've read articles, listened to some podcasts.
Okay.
And it's kind of a Christian thing too, like the self-interestedness.
Yeah.
Like C.S. Lewis talks about it too and stuff. So it kind of aligned with that. So does like Desiring God from. It's another website that talks about the self-interested way of viewing like motivation and other people too. So
yeah, because Ayn Rand's books they're
huge. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, maybe I'll read them, but there's definitely way more books in front of that before I read that one. I definitely read the summary for that one.
Yeah, it's intimidating because but that's where you're talking. I mean, it's like a 1,200 page book. Atlas Shrugged, and so much of it. I do think that it probably could be a 500-page book, but so much of that is what you're talking about, how you're slogging through like 150 pages, but that actually set up a really good 50.
Maybe that's why it stood the test of time.
Yeah, it has done that.
Yeah, that's usually a good rule too.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've heard that.
If it withstands the test.
Yeah, never read a book that's like 2 years old.
I don't. So I'll break my rule if I don't read new books, but if it is a new book from an author I have really liked in the past, then I'll read it. So like George Mumford, the author of The Mindful Athlete, he just came out with a new one. It's like, all right, well, I enjoyed this one that he did. I'll probably.
Yeah, I mean, new things are fun too.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to.
But I'm with you. I don't really read books that are any younger than 2. Like after if it's get good reviews, whatever, then I'll buy it. And there's just so many good books to read. I don't need to read new ones.
Yeah, there's like you have to compare it to every like. Say yes to one thing, you're saying yes to the other, like 3 trillion books in the world. So
exactly.
You sure you want to do it like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, we've had you on for a little bit. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
No, not particularly.
We didn't shout out your coach, Mike Playcheck.
Yeah, Mike's really
enjoy
great.
Working with him?
Really enjoy working with him. He's been really gracious to us, letting us kind of stay with him when we go down to San Diego, which is awesome. And yeah, he's really been helpful. We're glad we get to travel with him too a lot. So yeah, he's a good coach. We enjoy working with him. So. And
is it like a melding of systems? Because I know obviously you are exceptionally talented with the jump set option system, and his play check. Does he bring also his own voice into it, and Andy his own?
Andy has his own. I have my own. Mike has his own. Mike is good all around at like telling everything. He's good at kind of like pulling me back from being on the art side of things, like trying things too much and like being in the experimental stage. He'll pull back on that and say, hey, we have to play like tomorrow, stop. Or like in a week or something. Yeah. So, which I think is a healthy like tension. I think it's good. And I think it's good that I'm the art part and that he's that part. I don't think if it was flipped, it would be as good. So I like that. And then he has a tennis background, so I've asked him a lot of questions on how that works. So the whole serving game in tennis is pretty similar to the serving chess game in volleyball. I'm really into the defense chess game in volleyball. Just like it's interesting to me, but the serving game, like I don't really think about it that much. So it's nice that Mike has a lot of experience from tennis because he was a really, really good tennis player. He had, and especially his serve. His serve was his best thing. Like I think by a lot. Like that was his best. So he's been able to. And there's a lot of serving mechanics with hitting line, like cross body cutback that are almost like exactly duplicated in the tennis serve. So I really liked watching videos on tennis, kind of asking Mike about it too. And then, Mike will also have like really good drills and stuff too that like I don't really bring that to the table. So that's another thing he brings for the team. So yeah, it's been good.
Right on. Yeah. And you're on Instagram now?
Yeah.
Where can our listeners, viewers find you on the gram?
There's, at Miles Partain, just kind of posting what we talked about today, sort of as far as like practice highlights a little bit, what I'm thinking about, learning about. I might try and start a little bit of a blog. I know you have that. I really like reading a lot of your posts, so
thanks.
I might try and do that. I just want to get my information that in my head on paper too. I think it's nice, and when you feel like there's a potential for someone else to read it, you do it at a higher quality. So I might do that. I'll also put on there like I might do some stuff about like how I think you should jump set or option and like arm swing stuff, passing angles, mainly those things. I think I would do that. I like to do some of that on the Instagram too, and then also like competing mentality, like from a Christian perspective. I think I'd put all 3-4 of those things in there, and then I'd also like to shout out like the 2 sponsors we have. Centerpoint Securities. They actually sponsor kind of a lot of athletes in the San Diego community, which is really cool, and they partnered with me and Andy this year, and Paul and I last year, and still with Paul. So yeah, they're just like a really good active trading platform. So if you're looking into being serious with trading stocks, they have all the fancy tools and a really good short locate system. I was fortunate to intern with them, so I know a lot of the people there. They got really good like customer service, and they have a pretty well-oiled machine there. And then also Blocks Nutrition. I know Try and Cam are with them too, but that's been cool. I haven't really been into the nutrition side of like performance. And I got a book, like a sports handbook for like nutrition or something. The USA nutritionist recommended it to me, so I'm looking through that. But they gave me like a custom protocol with like a bunch of different supplements, kind of like the Whole Foods of supplements. So it's all natural and NSF certified. So I really like using their stuff, and they have these quizzes that you guys, as the listeners, can take if you want to look more. You can take their quiz, and it can give you your own customized protocol to fit your needs. And I talked to the guy who's developing all the kind of formulas and products, and he really knows what he's doing. Very interesting, and it made me a lot more passionate about the area. So Yeah, definitely check out Blocks Nutrition. They're on Instagram, and you can take their quiz on the website and buy their products too. Yeah, that's it. There's a lot more that like I'd like to talk about, but it's just there's like not enough time, and I also got to get my thoughts together on like the biomechanics side of things. I think
back on whenever you
arm
want.
swings and passing.
Yeah,
mainly like some stuff that I just think is new. Yeah. But
we've been podcasting for a while, so we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to,
that'd be fun to
bring
do.
some
like
more thoughts
a
back.
specifically, I can bring some stuff to talk about how I think about like exploring mostly new stuff. Like I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel, but stuff that I feel like I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
Going through like the club system, the UCLA system, the just listening to other players' system. So just like mostly new stuff I would try to talk about.
Yeah.
I think could be helpful to people trying to get better at volleyball. And I'd want to share it because, this might be, I don't know, this might be the only time I go for the Olympics. And I don't know it might not be the career for me afterwards. So I'd like to get a lot out
really
while I'm still in the picture. I don't know yet. I'm not sure, but it has its trade-offs. Everyone knows that. Right. So I'm not sure yet if they're for me. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still in limbo.
Yeah, what else do you like to do? Obviously, you're like a really bright kid.
I just like the normal job.
Yeah.
Whatever everyone else is doing. So, yeah. I might want to I like thinking about systems and stuff. So if there's something that has like a decent amount of elements in the system and it works, like it's kind of just an engineering brain. Yeah. It's nice to learn things and then figure out how they work and then manipulate them favorably, which volleyball is a lot of. It's its own system. And it's really, really fun. I don't know if I'd have that same intrinsic nature with other jobs, but I think there's a lot of other systems I could just be really interested in that I'm not exposed to. So I think pigeonholing myself to volleyball. Also that range book, you've read it because it was on your blog.
Yeah, very good.
I really liked that book, and Tyler Hildebrand showed me that book, and it really helped volleyball, like using tennis and other sports, like high jumping too, a little bit to learn how to play volleyball. Has been cool, like cross-domain stuff just within the sporting world, but then there's also all these other domains in the world, like, I don't know, building a little microchip in this little mic thing. Like, I think that could be cool. It's like probably a cool process to doing it. There's probably flaws that could be fun to try and exploit and get better, or not exploit, but like improve upon. And so I think it would just be fun to look around and see what else I could be interested in. So I don't know. I'll keep trying to learn, listen to podcasts. Yeah. I've just been listening to the strength and conditioning, like PT world stuff. Yeah. It's like really applicable to the sport too. So I'm like my own like trial subject, but it's fun to, I might start listening to other ones too. What's up, Tri? How's it going?
What's up, brother?
Yeah. So that's it.
But it was funny when I read range. It was like confirmation bias on my part. I was like, yes, because I just try random stuff. Like I played 6 sports when I was growing up.
Yeah, it really helps.
Like I've been a writer, podcaster, like I do this little Road to Paris series. Yeah. Just because I wanted to learn how to do like video production and like host my own show, and ended up people liked it. I was like, oh, cool. And it's just, I can see like commentating has helped my playing, and playing's helped the writing and all this stuff. Helps. Like range it was so good for me to read because I was like, good. Yes, like I'm not just being like a dilettante and trying all these different things. It really justifies
your like messing around.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Like which is what everyone else is doing. They're just messing around, and then they just classify it as some like specific like category and make it look all official. But the only way they got there is by messing around. Exactly. Usually. So it's like, are you going to do your own thing or just like go on someone else's category and like learn it like a robot? Like you can, there's a lot to learn within it too. It's not all like always like that, but it's fun kind of, you got to know the rules, and then you break the rules when you think they could be broken, because all models are wrong, but some are useful. That's a good quote. I like that.
I'm a big fan of pushing the rules. Like, are you going to break?
Yeah.
I'll bend it
if it's a real rule, it will never break.
Right. Maybe bend a little and it'll snap back. Like, all right,
maybe
cool.
It'll snap
that rule's meant to be there. Like others,
up to
I'll
a certain pound of pushing, and then after that, it'll break. Yeah. But like, all right, that's how far it'll go. And getting the edge cases like all like lined up, it's like really cool. It's in beach volleyball, the defense too. There's like how far do you need to go into the angle for them to hit a high line? Is it this far? Is it this far? Is this far?
Right.
Or like, do I need to be moving there, or should I just stand there?
Right.
Or like, what if I just start really close to it, but then look like I'm going to leave and then I stay? Or what if I start like, I don't know. There's just like a bunch of stuff that it's like, and everyone's different too. That's the tough part about beach volleyball. Everyone's different. So all the systems are like, you try and make it like your own little models that you think will work, and they just get broken. And then like you build it again, and then it works and it gets broken again. And I mean, it's just humans, so they're not going to be as predictable. I mean, but a lot of other systems also are like humans too. They're not going to, well, it's all made up of humans.
System. Their systems are developed by humans.
Yeah, they're developed by humans. So it's all like,
yeah,
unless it's like really based in like material science, like bits on a computer like thing, then I don't know. If there's a human element to it, it's always weird.
Because you look at like all this AI stuff.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of like, the AI just breaks and it just messes up all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is artificial intelligence made by humans.
Yeah.
And like all the AI stuff is learning
I don't know
from
where it'll
human
go.
stuff.
Andy's in like talked to me a little bit about.
He love talking to Andy about that stuff.
He listens to like people who talk about it, and then he has good ideas on it too. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see where it all goes.
Very. Sure. That's why I like. We're talking about what's going to happen after the Paris Olympics. Well, the world could be totally different. It will be totally different by the time Paris comes around.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's like. Yeah, the human connection is going to become more important. It's probably
paramount, I think. Yeah,
college degrees, more about connections.
It really is.
It used to be, and it still is probably even more now. Cause, I don't know. Yeah.
Like, neither of my brothers use their degree, but they use their connections. Yeah. So they got their jobs.
Yeah, a bunch of my friends are like, I applied to 50 internships and I got one. Oh, yeah, how'd you get it? Yeah, I knew someone. I actually did. None of my applications actually, like worked. So, but some of them do. There's different ways to do it. And you got to, sometimes that's your only way, and definitely go for it. Yeah. Apply to 200 jobs if that's what it takes. But, yeah. So.
Well, Miles, I love any time I get to spend with you and chat with you.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm glad we could make this happen. Congrats on a great start in Brazil, and good luck. Hopefully, I'll play you in Huntington. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we might. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to get out of the quali. The qualifier's gnarly.
Really?
Allison's playing. It's like, geez.
Yeah.
I can't. I thought the AVP, if they're going to give a wild card, I thought Allison might be deserving.
At least he got, they do the international thing, so he has points, right, from that?
Yes, me and Sam were the 1 seed in the quali, so.
Oh, man, you guys, wow. Sam's, wow. I thought, it depends how they weight them, huh? Like the weighting of the FIVB points might be, I'm not sure how they do it, but. Does Sam have a lot of points because it's moderate? Or do they weight it?
He's he probably has 100 less points than I do.
Okay, so that's just that.
His world champs is good, but
still has that.
He got really? So everyone's still hanging on to their world champs, but he has that 5th in La Paz. But then after that, it's just been 17th in an elite, a 13th in another challenge.
Yeah, I remember when Theo and Kame got 4th in the world champs. They were
big points.
Yeah, impossible points. You couldn't even get that on the AVP.
No, you can't.
I mean, kudos too. It's the most biggest tournament with all the best teams in the world.
That world champs too.
But yeah,
it was good to have you on, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Good catching up. We'll have to get dinner soon. Left-handed shake.
Yeah. All right.
Shoots.
Alrighty.